Carowinds is an amusement park that is owned and operated by Cedar Fair and located on the border of North and South Carolina. I will be getting the privilege of going to this highly regarded park in a week, so in this video, I will be ranking my top 10 most anticipated roller coasters at the park, from least to most anticipated. After visiting, I will make another video ranking the coasters to show how they compared to my excitement. So with all that said, let's get into it. At number 10 is WOODSTOCK Express, a small Philadelphia toboggan coaster's Woody. The stats of this small family coaster are very far from impressive, but I am excited to get on this small little wooden coaster. I don't expect any airtime, but I think it will offer a fun ride experience that I am looking forward to having. Number 9 will be my first stand-up coaster, VORTEX. I can't wait to see what I think of standing up on a coaster, but this B&M isn't higher because I have heard many people say that it is not a very good ride. The ride is said to be very shaky, causing lots of headbanging. I have also heard that the restraints are very uncomfortable, especially for people of the male gender, if you know what I mean. So while I am very excited to ride VORTEX and form my own opinion on this dying style of ride, I don't expect it to be a good one at all. Carolina CYCLONE is an average aero looper, and it will be at my number 8 spot. There isn't a whole lot to say about this bland ride, as there are many other clones that are exactly the same. You go down the drop into 2 loops before a turnaround into a double corkscrew, and the ride finishes with a boring helix. It looks a bit rough, but I can deal with that, so it really is just as low because the color scheme is like really ugly, and the whole ride just seems pretty boring. One of the only 2 Vekoma Flying Dutchmans left is located at Carowinds, and it is coming in as my number 7th most anticipated coaster in the park. NIGHTHAWK, similarly to VORTEX, is a ride that I am looking forward to experiencing, but have heard bad things about. While I generally like flying coasters, this one has been called rough and not too enjoyable. However, I have also heard that it has been running well in the 2019 season, so who knows, I may even end up enjoying it. The things I am most excited for on this ride are the lie to fly and fly to lie elements. They offer a very strange feeling, and they look pretty unique and fun, so I am looking forward to riding NIGHTHAWK during my visit, whether I end up liking it or not. I will be riding my 3rd Vekoma boomerang at Carowinds with Flying Cobras. I think this looks like one of the better boomerangs, as it seems fairly smooth with only a small shakiness, and has been fitted with newer and more comfortable Vekoma vest restraints, meaning that it can't have headbanging. I also know from the boomerangs that I have ridden so far that they are fairly intense rides. The only reason this coaster isn't higher is because it is about as far from unique as you can get, with clones all over the earth. Still though, I am looking forward to my 3rd boomerang credit. Number 5 is the 2nd wooden coaster in the park, HURLER. I have heard some mixed opinions on this coaster, so I am very excited to form my own opinion and see how I like it. The layout looks pretty bad, with only slow and seemingly boring turns, and spread out hills that look lacking of any airtime. It is also very rough from what I have heard, but I don't think that will bother me too much, especially if the trains are as padded as a lot of people say they are. Some have even compared the cars on HURLER to couches. So, although it does look very boring, I still think I'll at least enjoy it a little bit. Starting off the top 4 of my most anticipated coasters at Carowinds is Intimidator, a B&M Hyper. Some say this is a very fun coaster with great floater airtime, while others say it is an okay Hyper with too many trims. Judging from the looks of it, I am on the positive side. I think it looks to have some great floater and a glossy smooth ride experience. Every element looks very fun, and while it does have a lot of trims, I've heard that you don't feel them as much riding in the front, so I don't expect them to hinder the ride experience. I also love the drops on B&M Hypers, as they are very long and also have great airtime. So overall, all of the good-looking things on this ride make it very anticipated for me. Coming in at the 3rd place spot is the new for 2019 coaster, COPPERHEAD Strike, a Muck Rides multi-launch coaster. I've ridden one Muck coaster currently, and with Time Traveler, and I loved it, so I'm interested to see how COPPERHEAD compares. I expect it to be a very smooth ride, with fun but not forceful launches, great theming, great airtime, and outstanding hang time. Almost every inversion on this coaster looks to deliver some incredibly strong hang time, especially the slow JoJo roll out of the station. While it doesn't look to be on the most intense side, it still seems to have some solid forces, particularly of the negative variety. The first airtime hill and several other moments seem to deliver solid floater to strong ejector, and I cannot wait to feel all of it. There are also a few whippy transitions and even a launch on an airtime hill. So overall, Copperhead Strike looks like a very fun coaster that I am very much so excited for. Number 2 is Afterburn, a B&M invert that looks extremely intense. I'm a very big fan of inverts, to the point where I even think they are actually the best of B&M's models, and Afterburn looks like one of the better ones. Every inversion seems to have great whip and strong positives, especially the Batwing and 0G roll. The pacing also looks incredible, leading to even the final turns on the ride to have outstanding intensity. I expect myself to have no problem graying out on this understandably highly regarded invert. At last, we have made it to the number 1 spot, and it is very obvious, because what could be more anticipated at this park than the humongous B&M Giga Coaster, Fury 325. Obviously standing 325 feet tall and dominating the park, this coaster looks incredible. The drop looks like it has great airtime, and it seems to last forever, which I love. Every turn also looks to have at least a little bit of intensity or whip, and they are all taken so fast they're bound to be fun. The Hive Dive looks like another amazing element, with great sideways airtime and an outstanding drop into a tunnel under a bridge. The airtime hills at the end of the ride seem to give some great flagector as well, leading to me to be extremely excited for this massive coaster. Despite how much I like to jokingly hate on it, it really does look like an amazing ride, and one that will absolutely be worthy of a 50th coaster for me. Alright, that's going to do it for my top 10 most anticipated coasters at Carowinds in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.